decades, the health plan has been rooted in your community and the state of West Virginia, a steady part of your family and your business. We're here for you with health services designed to manage and improve your well-being. The health plan is powered by a team of dedicated healthcare professionals and trusted local partners, because your health deserves more than just coverage. It deserves commitment. The health plan, here for you.
That works just fine. got the back corner of the ring in the batter's box. No, the other way. That might be a little much. Stand by, Eric.
My mic's not on. Like, hey, my mic's not on. I got nothing on my mic. And a very pleasant good afternoon and welcome to Charleston, West Virginia. It's day 3 of the Mountain East Conference Baseball Championship as the Charleston Golden Eagles at 21-29 take on the Glenville State Pioneers at 27-21 from beautiful Gomart Ballpark in downtown Charleston, West Virginia. Glenville State comes in off of a 14-8 win against Wheeling on Wednesday in the opener of this tournament. Glenville State jumped out in front 4-0 after the first inning on the way to that 14-7 win. Pioneers have lost 3 of their last 5, but again, that win has put them in good shape in this tournament. This is an elimination game, meanwhile, for the Charleston Golden Eagles at 21-29. They've lost 3 in a row, 6 of the last 9, and maybe one of the more devastating losses in the tournament this week. A 12-6 loss against Frostburg State yesterday. They led 6-0 after 2.5 innings, but Frostburg State scored the game's final 12 runs on the way to that 12-6 win over Charleston. So Charleston is done with a loss in this one. Glenville State moves on with a win, but again, a loss sends them to play later this evening. For Glenville State, the starting lineup looks like this. Jacob Meadows, the center fielder, leads off, followed by the shortstop Adam Bright and the designated hitter Zach Laurie. Ashton Crace, a strong game for him in the opener. He plays right field and is the cleanup batter. The left fielder Grayson McNeil hits 5th, followed by Colby Guy, the first baseman, and Luke Swigert, the catcher. Carlos De Jesus is the third baseman, hits in the 8th spot, followed by the second baseman Jetzel Cajigas Martinez. And they'll do this against Brevin Dekrosh, the ace of this Charleston staff. Dekrosh on for his 8th start of the year, 13th outing. 3.37 ERAs, 4-3 on the season. He's gone the distance once. 50 2/3 innings of work. He's allowed 19 earned runs, 45 hits, struck out 40, and walked 33. So Dekrosh gets the ball today, the redshirt senior out of Bryan, Ohio. And he'll face Jacob Meadows to lead things off. The first pitch is down and in for ball 1. And we're underway at 12:04 on this beautiful afternoon. The 1-0. That is popped out of play behind home plate. Meadows, the outfielder from Shady Spring, against Brevin Dekrosh. The 1-1. That's low. Beautiful day here in West Virginia's capital city. 63 degrees at first pitch. And we'll see our warmest weather of the week. 69, 70 degrees perhaps. The 2-1 dips down and in. 3 balls and a strike. Wheeling and Glenville State opened this tournament on Wednesday afternoon on a rainy, cool day. 3 balls and 2 strikes. As Dekrosh comes back and finds his zone. So Glenville State very likely glad to be playing in much better conditions today. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Meadows bats on the left side. Here's the offering. Swing and a miss. It's downstairs. They'll complete the strikeout with a throw to first. 1 away. Charleston's got Trent Dosenbach in left field. Abe Fenwick in center. Derek Seiss in right. Colin Kemp is at third. Andrew Coburn at short. The second baseman's John Stansberry. Ashton Cochran is at first base. Ryan Kamala is the catcher, and Brevin Deckrosh will face Adam Bright, the shortstop. A called strike on the outer edge to Adam Bright. He drove in 4 or 5 runs, doubled home 3 of them in the 6th inning in Glenville State's win on Wednesday. Breaking ball misses 1-1. Just 3 extra base hits for Glenville State out of their 14 on Wednesday in that 14-7 win against the Wheeling Cardinals. The 1-1. Grounded left side. A fair ball inside the stripe past a diving Colin Kemp. Bright wants 2. Still digging. They can't find the ball in the left field corner. Bright wants 3. The throw to third. Not in time. And Adam Bright with a 1-out triple to open up this Glenville State offense. That ball got into the left field corner, and Trent Dosenbach not able to handle that immediately. And with that unfolding right in front of Bright, he was able to make a good read and a big turn to second base. He kicked it into a third gear and wound up at third. The designated hitter, Zach Laurie. Deckrosh deals. Strike 1 to Laurie. Scored as a triple all the way. The pitch to Laurie upstairs. 1-1. So again, 11 of Glenville State's 14 hits on Wednesday where were singles. And then their first hit today is an extra base hit. Bright at third, the 1-1. Breaking ball caught the corner, 1-2. A ball and 2 strikes from Deckrosh. The righty fires. Bouncing ball left side and through. Glenville State takes a 1-0 lead on Zach Laurie's RBI single here in the first inning. Laurie went the other way and knocked it past Kemp at third base. He was even with the bag. And so a Glenville State team that struck for 4 runs in the first inning on Wednesday, they strike first again today. Only 1 out, Ashton Crace, the hitter. Fouled away for strike 1. Crace was a tough out for Wheeling on Wednesday. 3 hits, 3 runs batted in, including a double in the 6th, scored twice. Glenville State in the blue, Charleston in the white today. Deckrosh a long pause. Inside, a ball to Ashton Crace. Busy day here from Gomart Ballpark. 3 games on the docket. Point Park and Frostburg State up next. A cold strike on the outer edge. 1-2 to Ashton Crace. And depending on who comes out of this game, we may see Concord in the nightcap. We may not see Concord. The runner goes. It's high for a ball. The throw. Short hops. It's in time to retire Laurie. Good tag by the second baseman, John Stansberry. And Laurie caught stealing by Ryan Camella. So bases clean with 2 outs. And now all of a sudden, Deckrosh 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning unscathed. And now, Glenville State head coach Jimmy Mullins out of the dugout. He wants a word with our second base umpire, Roberto Pattison. Chris Richards calls the balls and strikes today. Mark Mayle at first base, Pattison at second, and Ben Smith at third base. Again, the bang-bang play at second base not reviewable.
3, you want to get me the umpire and the catcher?
So if you're going to try to win this argument, you're winning it based on logic. Maybe you saw something different. Maybe you're asking Roberto Pattison to get help from his colleagues.
On 1, everyone can reset. Good work, guys.
The discussion is complete. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Crace. The pitch popped out of play behind the dish. Grayson McNeil, the left fielder, on deck for Glenville State, if they can continue this inning. Crowd still filing in on a beautiful Friday afternoon from Charleston. The 1-2. Swung on and missed. Crace down on strikes. Bookend strikeouts for Brevin Dekrosh to end the first. But Zach Lurie's RBI single brings Adam Bryant around. And for the second game in a row in this tournament, Glenville State strikes first. They lead Charleston 1-0 through half an inning on the Mountain East Conference Digital Network. Glenville State with an early run, and they lead 1-0 over University of Charleston. Trent Taylor takes that lead to the mound for Glenville State and will face this Charleston lineup. The shortstop, Andrew Coburn, leads off, followed by the third baseman, Colin Kemp, and the left fielder, Trent Dosenbach. Derek Seiss, the right fielder, hits in the cleanup spot, followed by George Washington product, Abe Fenwick, the center fielder, batting fifth. Hitting sixth, that's Ryan Camello, the catcher, followed by the first baseman, Ashton Cochran, and the designated hitter, Damian Whitty. And John Stansbury, the second baseman, bats in the 9 spot. So the right-hander, Trent Taylor, on for Glenville State. He was warming in the bullpen on Wednesday. I'll get you Taylor's numbers on the season.
And you're good. Everyone reset.
This is his 7th start of the year and 12th outing. ERA of 4.29. Thrown 35 2/3 innings. Struck out 33 and walked 12. Allowed 31 hits and 17 earned runs. Opponents off Taylor batting .237. The sidearm delivery, it's a strike on the outer edge to the lefty batting Andrew Coburn. The native of Newmarket, Ontario, a freshman. Coburn ready for the 0-1. Taylor drops it low and misses outside. A ball and a strike to Coburn. Low it away. We'll get you the Glenville State defensive alignment in a moment. Here's the 2-1. Just off the corner. Zach Dellerman, who started on Wednesday one of two Glenville State pitchers to have double-digit starts. Behind them, third on the team in starts is now Trent Taylor. The 3-1 in their first strike. And the only other guy to have double-figure starts, Grant Landis, came on in relief and threw 2 2/3. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch on the way to Andrew Coburn. Hits Coburn. Leadoff man aboard for Charleston here in the first. Colin Kemp stands in. For Glenville State, Grayson McNeil in left, Jacob Meadows in center, Ashton Crace in right, Carlos DeJesus at third, Adam Bright at second, Jetzel Cajigas Martinez at second, Colby Guy at first, and Luke Swigert catches Trent Taylor. So third baseman Colin Kemp stands in. Runner bluffs at first. The throw goes to first. And the runner's safe. Coburn gets back. It's ball 1 to Colin Kemp. Time called. The fact that this is an elimination game for Charleston and not one for Glenville State would lead you to believe the Pioneers are going to approach this differently from a pitching perspective, as Taylor deals low and away. And Dellerman, the starting pitcher on Wednesday, threw 5 innings and 82 pitches. Gora, their number 2 starter, threw 36, or Landis rather, the number 2 starter, threw 57. That's a cold strike on the outer edge, 2-1. Were this an elimination game, you'd think Landis might be available on 1 day's rest after 57 pitches, and maybe even Dellerman for a few outs. There really is not a reason to go to them in this game. Toss to first, the runner's back. And because of the way this bracket is set up, of course, if Charleston loses, they're done. But if Glenville State loses, they'll come back and play at 7 o'clock. The 2-1 popped out of play down the right side. If Glenville State wins and knocks Charleston out, then Concord will play the loser of the 3:30 game between Point Park and Frostburg State. But if it's Glenville State that loses, then they'll play at 7 o'clock against the loser of the 3:30 game, and Concord won't play today. They'll play at 1 tomorrow. 2-2 popped up left field. Grayson McNeil, fighting the sun, makes the catch. 1 gone. So maybe a bit of a different bracket that many of you are used to seeing in a 6-team double elimination tournament. Interesting spot, though, for Concord. There it is. So Concord will play at 7 unless Glenville State drops this one. First pitch swinging, a ground ball foul wide of first for Trent Dozenbach. And if that happens, we would go to this secondary bracket, and that would push Concord into that game you see on the bottom, game 8 at 1 o'clock. The 0-1. Dozenbach laces it foul down the left field side. The 0-2 coming to Trent Dozenbach. Toss to first delays that offering. .338 average, second best mark on the team. He has started all 46 games for UC. The 0-2 swung on and missed. And Taylor comes back to strike out Dozenbach. 2 away in the first. Again, this Charleston offense has to be somewhat frustrated. They scored 5 in the second inning yesterday against Frostburg State, and they led that game 6-0 after 2.5. Runner goes, the pitch popped foul by Derek Seiss. So after leading 6-0, Charleston watched Frostburg State score 12 unanswered to win the game 12-6 and send Charleston to the loser's bracket. So though they got the bats moving, it's been a while. Pitch is down for a ball. 1-1. Sice ready, the 1-1 to him. Cold strike on the inner edge, 1-2. Taylor's pitch count is running up here in this first inning. 1 on, 2 away. Runner goes. Pitch outside, ball 2. Throw to the second base side. The tag is in time to retire Andrew Coburn, who's caught stealing to end the inning. What a tag in the middle infield. And the leadoff runner wiped off the base paths on a beautiful throw by Luke Swigert. We played one from Go-Mart Ballpark in Charleston, and Glenville State's lead is 1-0 on the Mountain East Conference Digital Network.
And you guys can reset. Good work.
What's possible when you have the freedom to explore things that inspire you? To be a part of a community that supports and challenges you. Where can you go to find the space and time to reach your goals? Who can you become when you're able to make connections in a place where you belong? Find out what's possible at Frostburg State University.
It's about unlocking your potential and discovering your purpose.
It's about community and how we can better serve others.
It's about learning and doing.
It's about the journey and the road getting there.
It's about opportunities and the endless possibilities.
It's about finding where you belong, and it is here at Concord University.
It's about you, and it starts with you.
We go to the second inning in Charleston on a beautiful Friday afternoon for baseball, the kind of Friday afternoon that if you're working in one of these buildings nearby, hey, it's an excellent excuse to play hooky and come out and watch some baseball with us. But if you can't make it, we're glad to have you here on the Mountain East Conference Digital Network. I'm Eric Little. Good to be with you here with our video productions crew. Grayson McNeil leads off. He's the left fielder against Brevin Deckrosh. Colby Guy and Luke Swigert to follow. McNeil takes a breaking ball for strike one, and we're underway in the second. Adam Bright tripled with 1 out in the first, came home on Zach Laurie's single to plate the game's first run. The 0-1. Down and in. Breaking ball buried on McNeil. 0-2. Glenville State has scored now 15 runs in this tournament. A third of those have come in the first inning of their games. The 0-2. McNeil doesn't take the bait. A 14-7 win for Glenville State on Wednesday, buoyed by a 4-0 first inning lead. It's certainly a trait that you want to keep throughout a tournament if you're playing, and you want to keep playing. Here's the 1-2 upstairs to the left fielder from Dunedin, Florida. Spring training home of the Toronto Blue Jays for a long time. The blue-clad Pioneer, McNeil, awaits the pitch. It's down and in, swing and a miss. They'll complete the strikeout with a throw to third, or first. It is the third strikeout. That's where I was going with that 3 number. 1 away here in the second inning for Colby Guy. So a significantly tamer start to this one. Got a lot of baseball ahead of us today from Go-Mart Ballpark. First pitch swinging, Guy lifts it left side. Does it go foul? No, it stays fair inside the stripe and rolls into the bullpen. Guy picks up the speed into second base, sliding with a double. Second consecutive inning for Glenville State with a 1-out extra base hit. Bright triple to the left field corner in the first, and now Guy doubles with 1 away in the second. And from my angle, the way that ball was flared, that looked like it was going to go foul. It didn't. It sat inside the line. Guy around at first and had the whole thing in front of him and took two. RBI spot for Luke Swigert. The Glenville State catcher ready to roll. Dekrosh deals, check swing, foul ball for strike. Catcher Swigert with 17 runs batted in this season. A .225 average. The pitch hit the other way into right field. Seiss backing up. Guy not able to tag. The catch made. 2 outs. Carlos De Jesus will try to knock in the run. Will be a big item here for Brevin Dekrosh if he's able to get out of this inning unscathed and keep this Glenville State offense at bay. Pitch to Jesus, low and outside. Again, this is their 11th trip to the plate in this tournament, and Glenville State has managed to plate 15 runs in that time. And again, a lot of that buoyed by the 4 in the first inning on Wednesday, but not all of it. It's been a potent offense. The 1-0 popped up, foul ground right side. The catcher, Camelo, fights the sun and makes the catch just shy of the on-deck circle. A lot to navigate. The sun, the railing, the items in the on-deck circle, but Camelo makes the catch to end the inning, and that extra base hit stranded for Glenville State. We go to the home half of the second inning. It's 1-0 Glenville State from the Mountain East Conference Baseball Championship, presented by the Health Plan.
Tomorrow's innovators, teachers, caregivers, researchers, leaders, and creators all have one thing in common. They started out just like you. At West Liberty University, you are the focus. This is a place where you will gain the skills, knowledge, and confidence to change your life and the world around you. It all starts here, with you. Visit westliberty.edu to start your journey. It's all here at West Liberty University.
I agree.
We go to the bottom half of the second inning. It's a 1-0 Glenville State lead. Trent Taylor will try to hold that lead against Derek Seiss. The cleanup batter for Charleston was up when Andrew Coburn was caught stealing in the first inning, so he'll get a fresh look. Center fielder Abe Fenwick follows, and the catcher Ryan Camella, who made the last out of the top of the second, follows. Point Park and Frostburg State coming up at 3:30. A battle of two teams that are both 1-0 in this tournament. We've seen a really entertaining tournament here from Charleston. Glenville State jumped out in front early on Wednesday and defeated Wheeling 14-8. And then Point Park rallied for a 6-5 win over Concord in the nightcap. That's a game Concord led 3-1 after 7 innings. For Point Park, battled back and scored in the 8th and 9th to win the ball game. Point Park scored 4 in the 8th to take a 5-3 lead. Concord tied it up in the top of the ninth, or in the bottom of the 8th. Point Park grabbed a run in the 9th and held on to the bottom half to win 6-5. That was the eventful Wednesday we had. The first pitch to Seiss, breaking ball roped foul, third base side. And then yesterday opened with Charleston grabbing that 6-0 lead, only to watch Frostburg State score 12 unanswered. And then Concord battled back to win game 2, 8-4. Behind the 16 strikeouts from Caden Varela Payne. 8 of those 12 runs, by the way, scored in the second inning of that nightcap yesterday. But Varela Payne from the third on was nearly untouchable. The 1-1 darts inside on Seiss. So this is game 5, game 1 of day 3. And again, we have 3 on the docket today. The only day of this tournament we have 3 games. The pitch, swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Derek Seiss. A little bit of hitting, a little bit of power hitting, some pitching, some defense. Momentum shifts, lead changes, close games. The 2-2 popped out of play. Right side. We'll find the seats. Looks like it found the top of a tent, and I have been watching balls hit down the right field side, expecting a ball to find one of those tents, and I don't think it's done so until just now. Finds the tent. Here's the 2-2 to Seiss. Swing and a miss. Taylor climbs the ladder. 1 gone on the second for Abe Fenwick. So you got to love a tournament that gives you a little bit of everything. That's how a baseball tournament ought to be. You wouldn't expect to see the same kind of game play out 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. Fenwick cuts and misses at the first pitch. Foul tip for strike 1.
You can reset. Sorry, I forgot to tell you. You can reset 3.
Mark Martin and I yesterday were trying to tell Abe Fenwick stories to get our Abe Fenwick material in, but put the ball into play on the first pitch the first 2 times up. Cut and a miss here. The product of George Washington High School. Quarterback of the football team. Good athlete. Strong baseball player, the 0-2. Just outside.
Close-up shot of the pitcher. As close as you can get. Ready, 4, take 4. On you 4.
More and more you see the players that succeed in college athletics do so after playing multiple sports in high school. The 1-2 way outside. That's a breaking ball that started out. And I think it started further out than Taylor was intending.
You can reset, Chase. I've actually got that shot on a PTZ.
1 away, the 2-2 to Fenwick. Popped out of play. There are numerous studies that suggest that it is better for these athletes, any athlete, when you put aside that main sport for a little while, just long enough to play something else, do something else. The 2-2 to Fenwick. Called strike 3 on the outside edge. 3 punch-outs in a row for Trent Taylor. 2 gone here in the second. I know there's a proliferation of sports happening out of season, people that have a primary sport. Take another look at that beautiful breaking ball. It helps the athlete's physical and mental health when they can get away from it for just a little bit. Comella lifts the first pitch into left field, drifting in. Grayson McNeil under it to make the catch. A 1-2-3 second inning for Trent Taylor. Through 2 innings today in West Virginia's capital city, Glenville State has a 1-0 lead on Charleston. We'll go to the third from the from the Mountain East Conference Baseball Championship presented by the Health Plan. Sunny and beautiful afternoon in Charleston as we go to the third inning. 9, 1, and 2 hitters due up for Glenville State. Chetzel Cajigas Martinez leads off against Brevin Dekrosh. Jacob Meadows and Adam Bright to follow. 3 hits for Glenville State. A pair of those for extra base hits, and we're told between innings there's been a scoring change on the ball that Adam Bright hit in the first inning. Initially ruled a triple into the left field corner. They have now changed that to a double and an error. And the error is what put Bright at third. Zach Laurie singled him home, and that's how we have our only run of the game. So still 3 hits, but now a double and an error for Adam Bright. The breaking ball is high for ball 1 to Jensel Cahigas Martinez.
All right, you can reset. Thank you. Yep, there you go, Chase. If they miss it,
256 hitter.
Yeah, your spots.
The 1-0 high.
Chase, ready to chase. Take chase.
He's another guy that's played every game this season for James Mullins' Glenville State Pioneers. The 2-0. Cold strike on the outer edge. Or he started every game he's played. Did miss one game. I'll clarify that. The 2-1 is looped to the shortstop, caught out there by Andrew Coburn. 1 away.
Ready for, take 4.
So 3 hits for Glenville State against Brevin Dekrosh. First time through the order. Here's Jacob Meadows. Now, he did hit an undisputed triple in the opener against Wheeling on Wednesday. Part of a 3-hit game. The pitch to Meadows is hit well right field. Derek Seiss going over, and he lost his cap as he makes the catch. 2 gone here in the third. 4 in a row put away by Brevin Dekrosh. He's finding a rhythm. Adam Bright stands in. Again, 14 hits for Glenville State on Wednesday. Jacob Meadows, Ashton Crace with 3 each. A couple other guys had 2 each. Bright takes outside for ball 1. The only guy playing today that I think his last name is also a way to describe the conditions. A bit of a weather report inside his name. It's a bright day. The 1-0. It's downstairs.
Like if he misses right here, like it's a ball or a strike, whatever, you can zoom in.
No truth to the rumor that they're recruiting someone named John Gloomy or anything like that. Hopefully nobody's gloomy on a day like this. This is a beautiful day. Dekrosh down 2-0. The pitch. Cold strike on the edge. Comes back with a breaking ball. I think a lot of casual fans might not understand the idea of throwing that breaking ball down 2-0, but if you're looking for a strike, sometimes that's the one you're most confident in to get into the zone. Bright fouls it back to level the count at 2-2. Pitch count in a good place for Brevin Dekrosh, making his first appearance in this tournament. In the regular season is 50.2 innings, 50 2/3. Second most on the team behind Wednesday starter Landon Ingram. It's downstairs for a ball. I'll check that. They did play yesterday. I get this confused. Glenville State played Wednesday. Charleston played yesterday. Pioneers up 1-0. Batting with 2 outs and nobody on here in the top of the third. Bright ready, so's Dekrosh. Breaking ball rolled to the left side. Colin Kemp up with it to first to end the inning. In the first 1-2-3 inning of the day, authored by Brevin Dekrosh. He's put away 5 in a row. Let's go to the bottom of the third from Charleston, with Glenville State leading 1-0 over the University of Charleston on MEC TV.
You have dreams.
A better life, a better job, a better you.
So where do you start to build the skills necessary to get there? At West Virginia State, you are not just a number, you are who you choose to be.
You receive personal attention from award-winning faculty.
You study in nationally recognized programs.
You learn the skills that will get you the job you know you can have. No matter where you want to go
or what you want to do,
it starts at State.
Being a champion takes more than skill. More than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
Back at Gomart Ballpark, the Mountain East Conference Championships in Day 3. Game 1 today, Glenville State jumped out in front with a 1-0 first inning lead. And that remains the score as Charleston bats in the bottom of the third. Trent Taylor hit the leadoff batter, Andrew Coburn, but he was caught stealing in that inning, so Taylor's faced the minimum through 2. Bottom third up, Ashton Cochran, Damian Whitty, and John Stansberry against the side armor Trent Taylor. First baseman Cochran stands in. The pitch down and in for a ball. Occasionally you do, but you really don't often see this. You don't see a lot of side armors in starting pitching roles at higher levels. The 1-0. Laced foul into the seats, third base side. And I would like to ask a pitching coach at some point why that happens. I'd also like to ask a pitching coach at some point, at what point do pitchers adopt that sidearm or even the submarine delivery? A 1-1 in there for a strike. Because, nobody starts pitching with a sidearm or submarine delivery. That's something that eventually evolves. Sometimes it's a surgery or an injury that gets you there. The 1-2 out of play. I think it's very similar to the plight of knuckleballers. You don't really see little leaguers toying with a knuckleball. But eventually, at some point, that's somewhere they land. The 1-2 to Cochran. Popped up third base side. Again, it finds the seats. I think in a lot of cases, from some of the stories I've read, it's a coach that they meet along the way and something they try maybe a little bit on the side as an alternative look or just a different arm angle just to add something extra to one or two of their pitches. And for some guys, it sticks and becomes their regular thing. Here's the 2-2. Popped up. It reaches the seats. Trent Taylor reaches the seats as well because he landed on his. Not getting dirt out of the cleats. That's a carpeted mound. But hey, you and I have all stumbled on a rug, so I'm sure Taylor doing the same. 8th pitch of the at-bat to Cochran. This is outside and lifted the other way in left center field. A long run for the left fielder Grayson McNeil. Makes the grab. 6 in a row put away by Trent Taylor. 1 gone in the third. Here's Damian Whitty. Of course, there is a very strong argument to make that that's easier on the arm or the elbow to throw from a 3/4 or sidearm delivery. You don't see infielders do that anymore. You used to really see that a lot out of shortstops and third basemen. Almost like they were skipping rocks. Here's Whitty. Low and outside. We're watching highlights and blooper videos as a kid. That was always one of the things that fascinated me. Arm angles. See somebody make a diving stop, and they come up and almost throw it parallel to the ground. The 1-0 on the outer edge, cold strike. But it's worked for Taylor. It's gotten him this far. And he's not given up a hit so far. 1 away in the third. 1-0 Glenville State. The 1-1. Cold strike to Damian Whitty. Again, Chris Richards calling the balls and strikes. Mark Mail at first base. Roberto Pattison at second. Ben Smith at third today. These guys have been here throughout the week. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 4 for Trent Taylor. 2 down in the third. I said in the last half inning, or one of the previous half innings, that this is a tournament that's given us really everything. And I think I was mistaken, rather. What this tournament really hasn't given us is a 1-0, 2-1 pitchers duel, and maybe we'll get that in this one. Stansbury fouls it away. That one finds the concourse. Again, there have been some runs scored, and we have had some good pitching in this event. Some comebacks, but we really haven't had that low-scoring game yet. Ball outside to Stansbury. So perhaps that's what we see today from Charleston. Time called by Stansbury. The senior out of Manassas, Virginia. Taylor ready to go. A ball and a strike to Stansbury. Sidewinder fires. It's sent in the air to right field. Ashton Crace is there. Has no problem with that one. And another 1-2-3 inning authored by Trent Taylor. 3 in the books. Glenville State and Charleston deadlocked in a pitcher's duel. It's 1-0 Glenville State on MEC TV.
Davis and Elkins College continues leading the way, and we did not slow down, even during the global health crisis. We have secured private donations and grant funding to support our growing, successful, and now accelerated nursing programs. Davis and Elkins nursing graduates have repeatedly posted 100% passing rates on nursing boards and are sought after by health organizations of all sizes, specialties, and locations. They need nurses, and we train the best.
For over 4 decades, the health plan has been rooted in your community and the state of West Virginia. A steady part of your family and your business. We're here for you with health services designed to manage and improve your well-being. The health plan is powered by a team of dedicated healthcare professionals and trusted local partners, because your health deserves more than just coverage. It deserves commitment. The health plan, here for you.
We go to the 4th inning. It's a 1-0 Glenville State lead. They'll look to add to it with the guy that provided that lead, Zach Laurie, leading off in the 4th inning. Adam Bright doubled and took third on an error ahead of Laurie, who singled home the game's lone run against Charleston right-hander Brevin Dekrosh. And since that time, Dekrosh has settled down. He has retired 7 of the last 8 hitters in this game. 3 hits for Glenville State. Charleston still looking for their first on a bright and sunny Friday afternoon in West Virginia's capital city. Mountain East Conference calls this home of their baseball tournament, and they'll continue to do so for at least the next year. Zach Laurie swings at a curveball and lifts it foul behind home plate. We're about an hour away from our buddy Jack Withrow's tee time. I worked with Jack the last 2 nights of this tournament. He's got a tee time, I'm told, at 1:50 today. 0-1. Breaking ball away. I believe Jack said, "Don't make too much fun of me." Texted me earlier this morning. I said, "We'll try." I said, "But I will require updates on how the round is going." The 1-1. Low and in, 2 balls and a strike. And Jack Withrow, a voice and face very familiar to fans of the University of Charleston Golden Eagles and really across the Mountain East Conference, become a trusted voice and face of this great league. The 2-1 lifted in left field. Trent Dosenbach makes the catch of that liner, 1 away. We've got a putt-putt course here at Gomar Ballpark. I saw tomorrow, actually, is National Mini Golf Day. When mini golf was invented, it was first called golfstickle. You know, a portmanteau of golf and obstacles that you're supposed to hit around. The pitch to Ashton Crace. Low and outside for ball one. Golfsticle mini golf played in London in 1912. I like putt-putt or mini golf better. Crace takes strike one. First U.S. mini golf course built in Pinehurst, North Carolina in 1916. The one here in Charleston came a little later. 9-hole layout. Nice looking course. Something you could do at a Charleston Dirty Birds game. The 1-1 to Crace. Low and outside. 2-1. Crace was a tough out in Glenville State's opener on Wednesday. 3 hits, including a double. He drove home 3. 1-0 Glenville State. Nobody on, top of the fourth. The 2-1 to Crace. Rocketed to the second baseman. Stansberry drops to a knee. Gloves it. Throws. 2 outs. The National Mini Golf Day celebrated the second Saturday in May. Glow-in-the-dark mini golf, by the way, was invented in Finland as a way to play indoors during the cold, dark winters. Mini golf was popular at first in the big cities. Tailors would have mini golf setups outside their stores so that if you wanted to get your pants pressed, you could play mini golf while you waited. Pitch to Grayson McNeil. Breaking ball down in the zone, swinging a miss. Pay no attention to the fact everyone else was just wearing their undershorts. So were you. Just 1 hit for Glenville State since the first inning. Colby Guy had that. He's on deck. The 0-1. Outside, 1-1.
Give me 1 second, guys. I'm getting a phone call. Hello? Hey.
Deckrosh works from the third base side of the rubber. The pitch in there for strike 2.
I am. No, you're fine.
McNeil, one of the 3 strikeouts from Brevin Deckrosh today. It's been a pitcher's duel from Gomart Ballpark.
Okay, I'll see it.
The 1-2.
Bye.
Swing and a miss. They throw to first to complete the strikeout. McNeil down for the second time on strikes. Strikeout number 4 for Brevin Deckrosh, and he's retired the side in order for the second inning in a row. 8 straight put away by Deckrosh. We'll go to the bottom of the fourth. It's 1-0 Glenville State from Charleston on MEC TV.
For 4 decades, the health plan has been rooted in your community and the state of West Virginia. A steady part of your family and your business. We're here for you with health services designed to manage and improve your well-being. The health plan is powered by a team of dedicated healthcare professionals and trusted local partners. Because your health deserves more than just coverage. It deserves commitment. The health plan. Here for you.
Gomart Ballpark is an artificial surface. Does not require a lawnmower, but Trent Taylor is acting as one today, mowing through this Charleston batting order. He's retired 8 in a row since hitting Andrew Coburn, the first batter of this game. And when Coburn was caught stealing, so Taylor is not allowed a hit. Has faced the minimum through 3 with 4 strikeouts. Settling into a pitcher's duel. Top of the order, Andrew Coburn bats for the second time. Colin Kemp and Trent Dosenbach. I love nothing more in baseball than the nice pitcher's duel after a lot of offense. It's like a palate cleanser. We're getting that today. First pitch swinging. It's grounded through the right side. A base hit. Coburn with a first Charleston hit of the day. Here's Colin Kemp. If Charleston explodes for 6 or 7 or 8 runs in this inning, I think I'm going to call that the announcer's jinx by talking about this as a pitcher's duel, and then if they make this something other than that. Here's Colin Kemp. Squares to bunt. Beautiful one down the third base line. Gloved by DeJesus. The throw, one away. Moves Coburn to second base. Seen a lot of sacrifice bunts in this tournament. And in a game that's 1-0. You kind of understand that here in the fourth inning, the way this has gone. Hits have been at a premium. Coburn at second with Charleston's only hit. And in the early going, runs also at a premium. Here's Dosenbach. Taylor checks the runner and deals, and Dosenbach lifts it into left field. McNeil planted, makes the catch. 2 gone. Thought he was going to have to drift in a little bit. He's got the grab. Here's Derek Seiss. The downside of the sacrifice bunt is that if the next guy comes up and is put out, then now you've got 2 outs all of a sudden. Some leverage here for Trent Taylor as he fires outside for ball 1. Three hits for Glenville State, 1 for Charleston. Seiss pops it down the right field line. Long run, Ashton Crace can't get there. It's a foul ball for strike 1. I didn't get a great look at that off the bat. I thought that was targeted for the seats, and Crace was really giving that kind of a courtesy run. But that was a lot closer to being a fair ball than I thought. The 1-1 to Seiss. Hit in the other way to right center field, and that is past a diving Crace. It bounces to the fence. Coburn scores on a double by Derek Seiss. We're tied at 1 here in the fourth inning. The ball that was fouled away a moment ago, I was told, had a really strong hook, like a Jack Withrow tee shot. That one, while it hooked back in the direction of Crace, did not have nearly as extreme a hook. Crace sold out for it, couldn't get it. You like that burger, Jim? Yes. Ready, 3. Take 3. Here's Abe Fenwick. So the sacrifice bunt does yield some dividends. Charleston brings home that run, and now they got the go-ahead run at second base with 2 outs. Here's Fenwick. Swing and a miss for a strike. Seiss trades places with Coburn. He's now at second. The 0-1. Breaking ball outside corner, backdoored Fenwick. 0-2. All 6 Charleston runs in their game yesterday against Frostburg State were scored with 2 outs. So now this is a 7th run in this tournament. All 7 of their runs with 2 outs. Fenwick pops this 0-2 into center field. Jacob Meadows there, and he makes the catch to end the inning. So Charleston brings home the equalizer. Seiss with a double to the right center field gap ties the game at 1 through 4 on MEC TV.
What's possible when you have the freedom to explore things that inspire you? To be a part of a community that supports and challenges you. Where can you go to find the space and time to reach your goals? Who can you become when you're able to make connections in a place where you belong? Find out what's possible at Frostburg State University.
Brand new ball game as we go to the fifth inning. Charleston ties it on a 2-out double to the right center field gap from Derek Seiss. We remain in a pitcher's duel at 1-1, just 5 total hits through the first 4 innings. Colby Guy, the first baseman, has one of Glenville State's 3 hits. Again, they were a singles hitting team in their opener on Wednesday. 11 of their 14 hits were singles, and today 2 of their 3 are doubles. Can't predict baseball, Susan, as the late, great John Sterling might say. I've been waiting to pay tribute to John Sterling this entire tournament by busting out a home run call. It is high, it is far. Hasn't happened yet. Maybe even a more apt tribute if it is caught at the warning track. Gotta love John Sterling, though. Sadly passed away this week. Longtime voice of the New York Yankees. Here's Colby Guy. Grounds this one foul. In addition to being the voice of the Yankees, Sterling worked for the Islanders, had a stint in Atlanta, the voice of the Braves and the Hawks. A versatile guy. The 0-1. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Deckrosh up 2 strikes on Guy. Nothing in 2 on Colby Guy out of Barrie, Ontario, Canada. The pitch hit in the air to center field. Abe Fenwick drifting under it, makes the catch. 1 away. Being from Ontario, Canada, I feel like Colby Guy has probably watched a little bit of Hockey Night in Canada every once in a while. Luke Swigert leads off, or bats with 1 out here in the 5th. Breaking ball on the outer edge, a cold strike. The junior from Roswell, Georgia. The 0-1. Lace to third, a diving grab. Colin Kemp snags the liner, 2 outs. Brevin Deckrosh, his pitcher, smiling like the butcher's dog as Kemp lays out to deny the double. Targeted for the corner, would have been the 3rd extra base hit of the day for Glenville State. Two gone in the 5th. Here's Carlos De Jesus. Breaking ball low and outside. It's been there more often than it hasn't for Deckrosh. 10 in a row put away for Deckrosh. De Jesus takes a ball low. The Colby Guy 1-out double in the 2nd, the last Glenville State hit in this game. Tied at 1 here in the 4th, the pitch. It's downstairs, 3 balls, no strikes. Deckrosh hasn't walked anybody in this game. He struck out 4. The 3-0 taken for ball 4. I think Deckrosh thought that should have been an appeal on a check swing. They've called no pitch. That's no pitch. The umpire was giving the hitter a warning. Here's the 3-0. On the outer edge, a cold strike. He may have quick pitched him there and did not have the proper eye contact, hitter to pitcher. Here's the 3-1. Breaking ball high, and DeJesus walks to break up a string of 10 in a row put away by Brevin Dekrosh. First walk of the game for the Charleston righty. The 9-hitter Jetzel Cajigas Martinez stands in. If there is an Achilles heel for Dekrosh in his stats this season, it has been the strikeout walk ratio. 34 strikeouts or 34 walks coming in, or at this point, 44 strikeouts. More walks than you like to see. Your runner bluffs from first. It's a ball down to Cajigas Martinez. Time called. Getting word from our truck about what that was on the 3-0 pitch. They say it wasn't a quick pitch and it wasn't an eye contact issue. They called no pitch and we're really not sure why. But either way, that one was a strike and the next one was ball 4. And now a mound visit for University of Charleston. 60 pitches for Dekrosh. 4 2/3. Carter Lyles, the pitching coach, out to visit. Here's a replay of that no pitch. We're told the umpire prior to this had pointed to Dekrosh, or was pointing at him mid-pitch. You see the point as the pitch is on the way. It's possible this is him pointing to Dekrosh to give him the go-ahead to pitch, and it comes mid-pitch instead of before the pitch. Either way, it's a moot point as Cajigas Martinez takes the ball high. We're just students of the game. We want to learn too. And we're nosy. We want to know what's going on. Second baseman Cajigas Martinez, the 2-0. Pulls back a bunt, gets away from the catcher Camella, and a third, or into second base goes to Jesus on the wild pitch. I'll check that. I'm told they call that a pass ball. DeJesus gets the lead from second. The 3-0 is upstairs for ball 4. So after going 4 2/3 innings without walking anyone, Brevin Dekrosh has now walked back-to-back hitters. And Jacob Meadows bats for the third time. So Dekrosh allowed 3 hits the first time through the Glenville State order, then none the second time through. How will the third time through play through? The pitch down and in for a ball to Jacob Meadows.
I feel like pass ball should be one of those last resort scoring things. It's really obvious.
So pass ball is...
It's an unearned run thing, yeah.
Well, pass ball is essentially the same as an error. Like the standard between...
Here's the 1-0. Cold strike on the corner, 1-1. Two on with 2 outs. Meadows looks for his first hit of the afternoon. Swings and lifts the 1-1 into right center field. Abe Fenwick under it, and he makes the catch. And Charleston escapes the jam in the 5th inning. We're to the halfway point of this one on a beautiful day in Charleston. The pom-poms are waving. The Thundersticks are too. Charleston and Glenville State locked in a pitcher's duel. We're tied at 1. From the Mountain East Conference Baseball Championship presented by the Health Plan. Bottom of the third, tied at 1 between Glenville State and Charleston. Really good ball game here from Gomart Ballpark. My name is Eric Little on the Mountain East Conference Digital Network. Glad to have you with us alongside our entire video productions crew today. Glenville State struck first in the opening inning. And of their 15 total runs in this tournament, 5 of those have come in the first inning. Adam Bright doubled, took third on an error, and Zach Laurie's single brought him home with the game's first run. And then in the fourth, Charleston's Derek Seiss belted a 2-out double to the left or right center field gap to bring home Andrew Coburn, the tying run. Here's Ryan Camella. Just 5 total hits in this game, 2 total runs. Trent Taylor and Brevin Dekrosh locking horns for a good pitcher's battle. Taylor pumps it in for strike 1. Glenville State won their first game, so with a loss, they're not eliminated. Charleston 0-1 in this tournament. They are eliminated with a loss. And Camella reaches out and pokes it foul. 0-2. First start in this tournament for Ryan Camella and his 24th this season. He's a .275 hitter. 13 runs batted in. The 2-strike pitch. Tapper out in front of the plate. The catcher, Swigert, fields it. What a split at first base by Colby Guy, but it wasn't enough. The first base umpire, Mark Mayle, says Guy's foot pried off the bag, and Camella is safe at first base. Boy, Swigert made a late decision to play it himself, and his pitcher Taylor has to get out of the way. I think they might have clipped a little bit. An excellent call at first base as Guy got back to the bag, but not in time. You give a lot of credit, or you dog umpires a lot when they don't make the correct call, but give Mark Mayle a ton of credit over there at first base, being right on top of that one. It's a bunted foul. You wonder if that had played out differently if Swigert had let Taylor make that play. And to be honest with you, it's a good thing that Taylor's okay, as he had his legs potentially taken out from under him by Swigert. The official scoring decision is infield single. The third hit of the day for Charleston. Yale 1. Bounce to the left side and just foul. I know that might seem like an easy decision to make, but generally speaking, when the throw's there ahead of time and the infielder's foot leaves the bag because the throw pulled him off the bag, that tends to be an error, but that's a tough play to make. Breaking ball swung on and missed, and Taylor comes back to strike out Cochran. One away in the fifth. But I agree with that decision. That was a tough play for Swigert to make. 5 punch-outs for Trent Taylor. Here's Damian Whitty, the designated hitter. Camella took second base. I think the ball was live, and Glenville State might have been napping a bit. Or did Camella get balked there? We'll look into that one. Here's Cochran. Swing and a miss. Or no. That's Cochran who just struck out. My apologies. For some reason, he hadn't struck out. Okay, so the 2-strike pitch was a balk and no pitch. So Camella took second on the balk. I didn't see the balk call. I'm told by our producers that that was a balk, and then on the second attempt, Cochran struck out. Damian Whitty takes a cold strike on the outside edge. There was no pause for Taylor, we're told. The 1-strike pitch to Damian Whitty. The breaking ball outer edge, low, 1-1. So here's the balk play. Never came to a complete stop. Whitty takes a cold strike. 1-2. So Camella moved to second on the balk. Cochran, who thought he'd struck out on the pitch prior, ends up striking out for real. And there's one away. We got it all sorted out. Whitty batting with a runner in scoring position. The go-ahead run here in the bottom of the fifth. We're tied at 1. Just outside from Taylor. Chris Richards really likes the low part of that strike zone. That low corner today has been there on both ends. I like when you reward pitchers to pump the bottom of that strike zone. Here's the 2-2. Too low. 3-2. Ryan Camella leads at second base. One away. The 3-2 pitch on the outside corner. A call. Third strike. Taylor strikes out back-to-back hitters. With a runner at second base, here's John Stansberry. 3 hits today for Charleston. That offense has gone very quiet since the 5 runs they put up in the second inning in their tournament opener yesterday. So Stansberry with a runner in scoring position. Pitch to him is outside for a ball. So 5 runs in the second inning for Charleston yesterday. They added 1 in the third. Since then, Charleston had 4 hits to finish off the game over the final 6 innings. Stansberry takes a strike. And a run on 3 hits today. So that's 1 run on 7 hits in their last 11 or 10 innings of baseball. 11 innings. That offense is quieted down. The 1-1. Low and outside. 2-1 to Stansberry. Charleston trying to take their first lead in this tournament since yesterday. Runner at second base with 2 outs. The 2-1. Cold strike on the inner edge. The outer edge, excuse me.
Zoom in on the gone second for me. Ready for
Frostburg State was 6 in the 5th inning yesterday. Charleston hasn't led since. On the outside corner, did he go? No. They say Stansberry held up and the count runs full. Top of the order, and Andrew Coburn in the on-deck circle. A big pitch coming for Trent Taylor. First is open, but you'd like to not bring the top of the order up with runners on. The 3-2 pitch, outside, ball 4. First walk of the game issued by Taylor. He hit Andrew Coburn in the first. Coburn stands in now with 2 on and 2 away in the bottom of the 5th inning. Pitch count for Taylor's at 69, and with that, see a mound visit. Maybe some work in the Glenville bullpen. Third time's a charm on that one. Looks to be a right-hander, going to crank it up. Mound visit broken up. Brian Thomas, the pitching coach, back to the dugout.
18.
Pitch is off the plate to Coburn for ball one. The 1-0, a cold strike. 1-1 to Andrew Coburn. Two on with two outs. Taylor's 1-1. Caught the corner. 1-2.
Why would there be an easy way out, right?
Well, who's number 18?
Big pitch coming here from Trent Taylor. 2 strikeouts already this inning. Can he strike out the side? Yep. Coburn sends it in the air to center field. Drifting back, Jacob Meadows makes the catch to end the inning. So 2 on, but Trent Taylor gets out of the jam and escapes the 5th without allowing any runs. We're tied at 1 as we go to the 6th from Charleston on MEC TV.
What's possible when you have the freedom to explore things that inspire you? To be a part of a community that supports and challenges you. Where can you go to find the space and time to reach your goals? Who can you become when you're able to make connections in a place where you belong? Find out what's possible at Frostburg State University.
It's about unlocking your potential and discovering your purpose.
It's about community and how we can better serve others.
It's about learning and doing.
It's about the journey and the road getting there.
It's about opportunities and the endless possibilities.
It's about finding where you belong, and it is here at Concord University.
It's about you, and it starts with you.
We go to the 6th inning in Charleston. Glenville State batting as the Pioneers and Golden Eagles in a pitcher's duel today. Just 6 total hits, 2 total runs. Glenville State's Zach Laurie drove home the first run in inning number 1 after Bright doubled and moved to third on an error. Zach Laurie's RBI single made it 1-0. Charleston answered in the 4th on a 2-out double by Derek Seiss. And again, all 7 runs for Charleston in this tournament have scored with 2 outs in the respective inning. Brevin Dekrosh continues and will face Adam Bright, speaking of, to lead off this 6th inning. Cold strike on the outer edge to Adam Bright. 3 hits for Glenville State. 2 of them have been doubles. That's just 3 hits for extra bases of their 14 Wednesday. Bright takes a cold strike on that corner. Again, that low outside corner has been there both ways in this ball game. The 2-strike pitch popped up on the infield right side. Stansberry at second base, gleaming into the sun, makes the catch. It is Bright who pops out, and it is Bright outside. Stansberry knows it better than anybody. The sun reflecting off those shades. Here's Zach Laurie. Another one of the Canadians on this roster. He's from Peterborough in Ontario. Drilled foul over the third base seats.
Ready, 3, take 3.
Laurie from Peterborough. Colby Guy from Barrie. Both in Ontario. couple others from different towns in Ontario. Bounced in for ball one to Zach Laurie. The 3:30 game pits Point Park and Frostburg State. We'll have it here for you on MEC TV. Laurie awaits the offering. He fouls it off his foot. The winner of this one determines who will square off in the 3:30 game. We know the loser of the 3:30 game, Point Park and Frostburg State, will stick around to play at 7 o'clock. So tough sledding for whoever ends up losing that matchup between Point Park and Frostburg State. Got to turn around and play either Concord or, if Glenville State loses, the Pioneers. A 1-2 upstairs. Laurie down on strikes. First strikeout since the fourth inning for Brevin Dekrosh. And his fifth today is Ashton Crace. Dekrosh, after walking back-to-back guys in the fifth, is now retired 3 in a row. He hasn't allowed a hit since Colby Guy's double in the second. Crace 0 for 2 today. That one's an errant toss. Little inside. A ball and no strikes. Crace grounds one to third base. Diving stop. Kemp to his feet. The throw gets past Cochran. And Crace to second base. No play there as Crace flops into second base. So a 2-out base runner for Glenville State. We'll see if that's an error all the way or if they go single and error.
Also taking a hit off the board for Charleston.
So they go error all the way on that one. We'll check on that later. That's a called strike to Grayson McNeil. The throwing error puts Crace at second base with 2 outs. The 1-1. McNeil in the air to left field. Dosenbach going back, reaching up to make the catch to end the inning. So the Pioneers get a runner to second base with 2 outs in the 6th inning, and Brevin Dekrosh leaves them there. To the bottom of the 6th we go in Charleston. We're tied at 1 between Glenville State and Charleston in the Mountain East Conference Baseball Championship presented by the Health Plan.
Tomorrow's innovators, teachers, caregivers, researchers, leaders, and creators all have one thing in common. They started out just like you. At West Liberty University, you are the focus. This is a place where you will gain the skills, knowledge, and confidence to change your life and the world around you. It all starts here, with you. Visit westliberty.edu to start your journey. It's all here at West Liberty University.
To the bottom of the 6th we go. Tied at 1 between Charleston and Glenville State. Made a scoring decision on an earlier play. So just 2 hits for the Golden Eagles. And 3 today for Glenville State. An error on Glenville State, 2 for Charleston. But the story of this game has been the pitchers. Trent Taylor for Glenville State has allowed a run on just 2 hits. Walked 1, hit a batter, and he has struck out 6. And Brevin Dekrosh has been just a solid and has been a worthy adversary. Dekrosh has completed 6 innings, a 1-run ball. He's allowed just 3 hits, and he has punched out 6, walked 2. Another 5 strikeouts for Dekrosh, but 2 walks and 6 innings of 1-run ball on 3 hits. Colin Kemp takes the ball outside from Taylor. Pitch count for Taylor's at 73 rather. This is number 74 coming. There's a strike on the outer edge. Glenville State's got work in the bullpen. That is the right-handed ace of this staff, Zach Dellerman, who threw 80-plus pitches 2 days ago in the opener of this tournament on Wednesday. Again, they also threw their number 2 starter, Grant Landis, in that game. This one's lifted just wide of third base. Foul ball by Colin Kemp. So again, Dellerman threw 82 pitches in Glenville State's win against Wheeling on Wednesday afternoon. Landis finished and threw 57 pitches. The 2-2 off the back of Kemp's leg. His calves may be cramping a bit now, but he's at first base to lead off the 6th. That's the 4th time, by the way, today that Charleston's had the leadoff runner aboard. The 2nd that they've had him on by virtue of being hit by a pitch. And getting hit in the legs, that's going to be tough. He's taking a minute to walk that off. Tough for him to get a good jump and be nimble going from first base. Trent Dosenbach, the left fielder, bats. Time is called as Glenville State is working on bringing some water down the line out of the clubhouses to their dugout. I don't think I've rooted for anybody harder today than I'm rooting for these folks to successfully get this water back to the dugout without spilling it. Because if that thing spills on the warning track, they've got the pressure of an entire ballpark here. They got it back safely. Runners back safely as well on a pickoff try. Dellerman continued to warm up in the bullpen. Those guys walking behind him. Bunt fouled. Good effort by DeJesus. 0-1 the count. I thought if you're Dellerman, maybe wait a minute to throw that pitch until the folks carrying the water are in the clear. So Glenville State, with a win already in this tournament, like the next guy they'll turn to, their ace. Toss to first, the runner's back.
Too fast for you.
The 0-1. A bunt foul, third base side. It sounded like it was double hit in the first place. But I think had that not rolled foul, let's take another look at this. No. That was a perfectly good bunt try. Dosenbach in search of his first hit in this game. Runner at first base, the 0-2. Upstairs, ball 1 to Zach Dosenbach. Trent Dosenbach, I think I've called him Zach Dosenbach. Trent Dosenbach, a 2-run double in the 2nd inning on Wednesday or Thursday afternoon. The 2-strike pitch swung on and missed. And Trent Dosenbach down on strikes for the 2nd time today. 1 away in the 6th. Taylor's pitch count is topped 80 as Derek Seiss bats for the 3rd time today. His RBI double tied this game in the 4th inning. He shot one to right center field with 2 outs past a diving Ashton Crace. Kemp at first. This pitch lifted over the head of the second baseman, Cajigas Martinez, into center field for just the 3rd Charleston hit of the day. 2 on with 1 away for Abe Fenwick. Sice has 2 of these 3 hits. Off the end of his bat. Good effort from Cajigas Martinez. Just not able to get that one. Time calling. I think this may be the end of the line for Trent Taylor. Trent Taylor, some congratulatory handshakes from his team. He's going to get a nice ovation from both the dugout and the Glenville State faithful on hand. 5 1/3 innings. He certainly has kept Glenville State in this one, but they'll turn to their ace with 2 on and 1 away in the 6th inning. We'll step aside from Charleston. We're tied at 1 from Gomart Ballpark on MEC TV. Zach Dellerman on for the 2nd time in this tournament for Glenville State. He started the tournament opener on Wednesday and threw 5 innings and 82 pitches in that span. Gave up 2 earned runs and 7 hits, struck out 5 and walked 1. Got the win. Inherits 2 runners here from Trent Taylor, who ironically enough threw 82 pitches in this game, I do believe. It was 81 a moment ago. I think it's 82 that he finishes with. Abe Fenwick takes a bowl outside. Colin Kipp hit by a pitch to start the inning after Trent Dosabach struck out. Derek Sice singled, and that chased Trent Taylor, who threw 5 1/3, gave up 1 run, 3 hits, walked 1, hit 2, and struck out 7. And again, is responsible for these 2 runners. He cannot win this game. He could be the losing pitcher. But Zach Dellerman on. 19th outing of the year. Lifts it foul down the left field line. Does Abe Fenwick. 19th appearance of the year for Dellerman. 6th out of the bullpen. The ace of this staff, the team leader in wins with 9. The 1-1. Ground ball right side, backhand stop. Colby Guy goes to second. They get the middle runner. Kemp to third, 2 outs. Fenwick reaches on the fielder's choice. You don't see that a ton, but a really smart play for Guy, going with everything in front of him rather than trying to stop and throw to a moving target in Dellerman. But now the go-ahead run to third base. Kemp is there with 2 outs for Ryan Comella. It was his hit that was taken away. He reached on a dribbler, thrown away by Luke Swigert to pull the first baseman Guy off the bag. This one's grounded foul wide of third. So Comella reached on that error. Just 6 hits combined between these teams. 2 runs. They're at the corners with 2 outs for Camella here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Tied at 1 between Glenville State and University of Charleston. Runner goes from first, the pitch low for a ball, and they'll let Abe Fenwick have second base.
Not expecting that. Good stuff. Yep, there you go. 4. Getting prepared for the thingy. We want to take 1.
So now for Camella, a hit means twice as much. Likely score 2. Lifts the 1-1 into right center field. Jacob Meadows coming on, looking into the sun, makes the catch to end the inning. Good work out of the pen for Zach Dellerman. The Glenville State ace comes on in relief and slams the door shut. We go to the 7th inning, tied at 1 between Glenville State and Charleston, and a really good matchup to start this Friday on MEC TV.
You have dreams.
A better life, a better job, a better you.
So where do you start to build the skills necessary to get there? At West Virginia State, you are not just a number, you are who you choose to be.
You receive personal attention from award-winning faculty.
You study in nationally recognized programs.
You learn the skills that will get you the job you know you can have. No matter where you want to go
or what you want to do,
it starts at State.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you.
Colby Guy has one of Glenville State's 3 hits in this game. 2 of those 3 are extra bases. He leads off the 7th inning, and his double in the 2nd is the last hit to date for Glenville State. They've had 2 walks, and Ashton Crace reached on an error in the 6th, but other than that, they have been held in check by Brevin Deckrosh, this Charleston right-hander. Told Trent Taylor's final pitch count was 84 for Charleston. Deckrosh stands at 80 right now as Colby Guy leads off this 7th. He also led off the 5th. He flew out. Aside from the double he hit in the 2nd. So here we go, tied at 1. Going into the late innings of this one. If you love pitching, this is the game for you. Guy fouls the first pitch over the backstop.
Ready 4, take 4. Ready 3, take 3.
Long look at the wristband from Brevin Deckrosh. Brings the hands together. The 0-1. Upstairs to Guy. Again, this is not an elimination game for Glenville State. They won their opener. It is one for Charleston. They lost their opener. Here's the 1-1. That's down. If Glenville State loses this game, they will go into the loser's bracket and play at 7 o'clock today against whoever loses the 3:30 game. If Charleston loses, they're done. Check swing for Guy, and he offered 2-2. If Charleston loses, they're done. And then Concord would play the 3:30 loser. We would go down to 4 teams by the end of the day. Here's the 2-2. Guy hits it the other way on the ground. Kemp scoops the slow roller to first. 1 gone. We've already trimmed this tournament field from 6 teams to 5. The Wheeling Cardinals eliminated. And they came in with a tournament high 36 wins. Goes to show you in tournament baseball, anything can happen. You see this all over college baseball. The team comes in with a top seed, riding a high, and then things just come to a complete stop. The brakes are slammed. Here's Swigert. Low and outside for a ball. Wheeling was getting a national ranking in the top 10. And then they end up being the first team out of the tournament. The 1-0 to Swigert. Called strike on the inner half. You rarely see in any tournament where the first elimination game pits the number 1 seeds against one another. I think that goes to show you what kind of a tournament this has been. Somewhat unpredictable in the fun way. Here's the 1-1 on the outside corner. The fun way, unless you've got a vested interest, then you might feel differently. Pitch number 87 from Brevin Dekrosh coming to Luke Swigert. There's action in the Charleston bullpen. Dekrosh has gotten this game into the 7th. The 1-2. Breaking ball rolled to the left side. Coburn up with it to first. 2 gone. What a job for Brevin Dekrosh. All 3 Glenville State hits in the first 2 innings of this game. The first 6 batters of this game recorded the only 3 Glenville State hits to date. Dekrosh has silenced these bats today. Has muzzled the muskets. It's down to DeJesus for ball 1. DeJesus has one of just 2 walks issued by Dekrosh today. He walked back-to-back guys with 2 outs in the 5th before Jacob Meadows flew out to end the inning. This is the 3rd trip through the order for Brevin Dekrosh. Low and outside. Dekrosh has put away 3 in a row and 6 of the last 7 he's faced. You can do the little hand thing, 6 of 7, why not? It's a Friday, I won't judge. The 2-0, cold strike on the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike to DeJesus. DeJesus pops to 2-1. First base on deck circle to the dugout. Almost room for Ashton Cochran. He almost went head over heels toward that dugout, and thankfully he's okay. Dekrosh 1 pitch away from completing 7 full. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Doing so in under 100 pitches will be an impressive feat also. The 2-2 to DeJesus. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. A 1-2-3 inning authored by Brevin Dekrosh. He's put away the side in order 3 times today, and Dekrosh has delivered 7 solid innings of 1-run ball for the Charleston Golden Eagles. It's stretch time from Gomart Ballpark. We're tied at 1 in the Mountain East Conference Baseball Championship presented by the Health Plan.
Davis and Elkins College continues leading the way, and we did not slow down, even during the global health crisis. We have secured private donations and grant funding to support our growing, successful, and now accelerated nursing programs. Davis and Elkins nursing graduates have repeatedly posted 100% passing rates on nursing boards and are sought after by health organizations of all sizes, specialties, and locations. They need nurses, and we train the best.
For over 4 decades, the Health Plan has been rooted in your community and the state of West Virginia. A steady part of your family and your business. We're here for you with health services designed to manage and improve your well-being. The Health Plan is powered by a team of dedicated healthcare professionals and trusted local partners. Because your health deserves more than just coverage. It deserves commitment. The Health Plan. Here for you.
We go to the bottom of the 7th inning in what's been a very well-pitched ball game. Glenville State into the bullpen, albeit with their ace, Zach Dellerman. He came on and relieved Trent Taylor. He got the final 2 outs of the 6th inning. Taylor in 5 1/3 allowed a run on 3 hits, walked a guy, hit 2, and struck out 7. And on the other side of things, Brevin Dekrosh has thrown 7 innings of 1-run, 3-hit ball. He's walked 2 and struck out 6. Ashton Cochran leads off. And the first baseman takes outside for ball 1 from Zach Dellerman. Started and got the win on Wednesday through 82 pitches. James Mullins hoping he's got enough in the tank to get him the rest of the way. Breaking ball outside, maybe a bit low. 2-0. Dean Peterson of the Charleston Golden Eagles. What does he do from a pitching standpoint? They got action in the bullpen, the 2-0. Low and outside, 3-0. Again, Dekrosh has thrown really well in 7 innings, but we're to the point now to where you've got to make quick decisions if you're going to pivot, because even though this game is tied at 1, we're in the bottom of the 7th inning, so action's going to come fast and furious. And get me over fastball in there for strike to Ashton Cochran. A 3-1. Called strike on the outer edge. The 3-2 to Ashton Cochran. 0 for 2 today. Here's the pitch from Dellerman. It's upstairs for ball 4. And a leadoff man aboard for Charleston. That is the 5th time today they've had the leadoff runner on. Here's Damian Whitty. So here's the bracket as it stands now. The winner of this one moves on to play tomorrow at 1 p.m. If Charleston loses, they're done. If Glenville State loses, because they've only lost once, they will come back at 7 o'clock to play. Well, Charleston will move on. Damian Whitty takes the ball downstairs, and now time called. Brian Thomas, the pitching coach, out to have a word with Dellerman. And here's the secondary bracket, and that's for what we use if Charleston wins and sends Glenville State to the losers bracket. Either way, Charleston is only playing 1 game today, because they'll either lose and be done in the tournament, or they'll win and move on. But if Glenville State loses, then they go into that secondary bracket, and they'll play the loser of the 3:30 game, either Point Park or Frostburg State. So both of these teams have a ton at stake here. For Glenville State, a win moves them on to tomorrow and keeps them perfect in this tournament. And for Charleston, a loss eliminates them and ends their season. Whereas a Glenville State loss means they got to come back today and play again. Whitty bunts it foul, first base side. And in tournament play, you know, that's always a possibility, especially if you're coming out of the loser's bracket, that you may have to play 18 innings to keep your season alive. The 1-1, a cold strike as Lane shows, bunt pulls back. But just because you might have to play 2 games, that doesn't mean it's an easy thing to do, especially if you want to come out of that loser's bracket and win the tournament. Taylor struck out 7. Whitty went down twice on strikes. Max Lane pinch hitting for him here in the 7th inning. Lane 2 hits yesterday, including a double in Charleston's 6-run early attack. The pitch swung on and missed. Lane down on strikes. 1 gone in the 7th inning. Here's John Stansbury. Ashton Cochran at first base for Charleston. Not a huge threat to run, though he's stolen 4 times and hasn't been caught this year. You'd like to see him, if you're Charleston, get to second with 1 away, and they'll not do it here. This is lifted into right field. A long run in. Ashton Crace makes the catch in shallow right. So the Golden Eagles fail to get that runner in scoring position. And Cochran remains at first with 2 outs for Andrew Coburn. Zach Dellerman on in relief of Trent Taylor. We saw a really good relief effort out of Wheeling Sebastian Kahn yesterday. The pitch, strike call on the outside edge. And Kahn started the game that Dellerman started on Wednesday, day 1 of this tournament. Kahn chased in the 3rd inning of that game, but pitching in back-to-back days threw very well in relief yesterday. Runner goes, it's in the dirt for a ball. Throw, it gets through the shortstop, but is backed up by Cajigas Martinez. And Cochran swipes second base. Counts at 1-1 on Andrew Corbin. Big spot here from Dellerman to Andrew Corbin. The 1-1. Breaking ball in there for a cold strike. A double barrel action in the Glenville State bullpen. They got a submariner going. Another right-hander getting loose. I believe that's Aiden Hoffmeyer. 1 on, 2 outs. A 1-2 pitch to Andrew Corbin. Zach Dellerman, the ace, fires. It's in the dirt. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning, getting late for both of these teams. A loss ends Charleston's season. A loss for Glenville State sends them to a 7 o'clock elimination game tonight. Tied at 1, 2 outs, the 2-2. Lifted, left center field, a long run. McNeil there, he can't get it, neither can Meadows. It's down. And around from third to score, Ashton Cochran makes it a 2-1 ball game. Coburn's second hit of the day is a go-ahead RBI single here in the 7th inning. That ball stayed in the air forever, it seemed. McNeil and Meadows were both back and unable to make the catch. It got down. Coburn singles to give Charleston their first lead since the 5th inning yesterday. 2-1. Runner goes, pitches a ball up and away. Throw offline. Coburn swipes second base. Huge steal for Andrew Coburn, his 10th of the season. He's there with 2 outs for Colin Kemp as Charleston looks for insurance in this bottom of the 7th inning. Again, 2 in the Glenville State bullpen. We're told it's William Chu and Anthony Ruiz, a pair of right-handers. The 1-1 popped up. Second baseman Jetzel Cajigas Martinez out. Under it. Kemp, and he makes the catch. Had to backpedal at the last second to make the grab. But a 2-out RBI single for Charleston's Andrew Coburn gives the Golden Eagles their first lead of the day. We're through 7. It's Charleston 2, Glenville State 1 on MEC TV.
What's possible when you have the freedom to explore things that inspire you? To be a part of a community that supports and challenges you. Where can you go to find the space and time to reach your goals? Who can you become when you're able to make connections in a place where you belong? Find out what's possible at Frostburg State University.
half of Charleston's 4 hits in this game have come with 2 outs, and all 8 of their runs in 2 games of this Mountain East Conference Baseball Championship game have been 2-out runs. The latest, a 2-out RBI single from Andrew Coburn in the bottom of the 7th gives Charleston a 2-1 lead. Now for the first time all day, Brevin Dekrosh back on the mound with the lead. He'll face the 9-1-2 hitters in this Glenville State order, an offense that's gone punchless since the 2nd inning. They have not had a hit in this game since the 2nd. Ashton Crace reached on an error in the 6th. Dekrosh walked back-to-back guys the inning prior. But Colby Guys 1-out double in the 2nd inning, the last Glenville State hit in this game. Season on the line for Charleston. They have lost already in this tournament. Cajigas Martinez being taken down for a pinch hitter. It's Gavin Blair. And he takes the ball downstairs. So James Mullins playing one of his cards off the bench in the 8th inning. And now if you're Charleston, you got to find a way to get these 6 outs. The 1-0 in there for a strike. We saw 139 pitches last night out of Caden Varela Payne, pitching for the 2nd consecutive day. And I would imagine we're going to see a lot today out of Brevin Dekrosh. Here's the 1-1. Bouncer back to the mound. Dekrosh up with it, runs halfway, tosses, 1 out. Jack Withrow and I last night talked a bit about qualities of an ace. I mentioned you have to pry the ball out of Varela Payne's hands, and I feel like Dekrosh would probably tell you something very similar, and likely in some words we couldn't say on this broadcast. There is action, a lefty throwing in the Charleston bullpen. The pitch. Breaking ball darts in. Jacob Meadows 0 for 3 today. Had an extra base hit in the opener on Wednesday. A 1-ball pitch. Levels the count at 1-1. Two RBIs for Meadows and a triple. This one is shot to first base. Cochran can't hang on, and Meadows is safe. In and out of the glove of Ashton Cochran. And now for Glenville State, the tying run aboard in the 8th with 1 out for Adam Bright, who doubled and scored in this game and has been a tough out in this tournament. 5 RBIs in the opener on Wednesday and a 3-run double in the 6th inning. They do call that an error on Cochran that puts Meadows at first base. So Glenville State still without a hit since the 6th inning, or the 2nd inning rather. Here's Adam Bright. Kai Close getting loose in the Charleston bullpen. Pitch is down for a ball to Adam Bright. We saw Close in the first game of this tournament. Runner back. In case you're wondering, Meadows 15 of 17 on the base paths this season. With 1 out, he's a really good candidate to be moving here. Dekrosh checks the runner. Here he goes. It's low and outside for a ball. Throw gets past the second baseman, Stansberry. So Meadows at second base with 1 away. He's the tying run. Here in the top of the 8th inning. A second lefty has joined Close in that Charleston bullpen. Good jump for Jacob Meadows. Not even a good throw gets him. This game was deadlocked at 1 for a long time. Bright can tie it at 2. Pitch 101 from Dekrosh. A breaking ball down. 3 balls and no strikes. Three balls and no strikes to Adam Bright. Check swing and a breaking ball down. And he offered. Unusual to see him get the 3-0 green light there. As careful as both of these teams have been in such a tight game. A really good pitcher's duel. Game that's had folks at the edge of their seats all afternoon. Here's the 3-1. On the outside corner, a cold strike. Dekrosh has come back from 3-0 down to bring the count full. Meadows the tying run at second base for Glenville State. 1 away, top of the 8th inning. Charleston 2, Glenville State 1. Overthrown on 3-2, and Bright draws the 3rd walk of the outing from Brevin Dekrosh. Time is called. And is this a pep me up talk? To see if Charleston's Dean Peterson can squeeze just one more out of Brevin Dekrosh, or is this the end of the line? This decision may not be final yet. Bullpenners waiting in the wings. Home plate umpire Chris Richards comes out to try to move this along, and the conference ends with Peterson leaving, Dekrosh on the mound. Peterson in his 3rd season leading this Charleston staff. Back to the dugout. Hopeful he's made the right decision. Zach Lurie's RBI single in the 1st gave Glenville State their only run of the game. He's got 2 on with 1 away. Dekrosh fires. Lurie takes the ball up and away. Two on. The 1-0. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Our producer and stat guru Brian Shepard says all 3 of Lurie's at-bats have been 4-pitch at-bats. See if this trend holds true here. He'd like to make this one a 3-pitch at-bat. The 2-0 takes a cold strike on the outer edge. Ashton Crace is hitless today, but had a really strong game yesterday. He's on deck. The 2-1 to Zach Lurie. Here it is. It's rocketed into center field past the diving Andrew Colburn for a base hit. Here comes Meadows around 3rd. The throw cut off. We're tied at 2. Second RBI single of the day for Zach Lurie. It's a brand new ball game here in the top of the 8th inning from Charleston. For the 4th time today on pitch number 4, the at-bat, Lurie singles into center field. It ties the game, and it will end Brevin Dekrosh's day. Dean Peterson out to take the ball from his ace. And though Dekrosh is not going to be very happy about how this 108-pitch outing ends, give him a ton of credit for keeping these Golden Eagles in the game and getting into the 8th inning of this one. 7 1/3 for Dekrosh, but he leaves after the RBI single from Zach Laurie ties the game at 2. Dekrosh could be the losing pitcher, cannot be the winner of this game. We're tied at 2. New pitcher coming on. We're in the top of the 8th. Glenville State still batting. We're back after this on MEC TV.
Decades, the health plan has been rooted in your community and the state of West Virginia. A steady part of your family and your business. We're here for you with health services designed to manage and improve your well-being. The health plan is powered by a team of dedicated healthcare professionals and trusted local partners. Because your health deserves more than just coverage. It deserves commitment. The health plan. Here for you.
Kai Close on for the second time this week. And he inherits a brand new ball game. We're tied at 2 on the RBI single from Zach Laurie. With 1 out here in the 8th inning. With 1 out, Jacob Meadows reached on an error on a ball that Ashton Cochran tried to backhand at first base. It popped out of his glove. Meadows reached, Adam Bright walked, and Zach Laurie's single plated Meadows to tie this game at 2. Close on for the 15th time this season, an ERA of 1.69. He's thrown 16 innings, allowed 12 hits, just 3 earned runs, 13 strikeouts, 12 walks, and opponents batting .203 against him. The Laurie single, just the 4th hit allowed by Brevin Dekrosh. He leaves after throwing 108 pitches, giving up 2 runs, 4 hits, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts. He's responsible for the 2 on the base paths. Here's Ashton Crace. Takes a curve on the inside edge for a cold strike against the lefty Kai Close. From the belt, the 1-strike pitch. To the backstop, 0-2. 3 hits for Crace in the opener of this tournament on Wednesday. A double, he drove home 3 runs. And Glenville State's 14-7 win against Wheeling. So by virtue of that win, this is not an elimination game for Glenville State. But Charleston is 0-1 in this tournament. They cannot weather a second loss. Here's the 0-2. Curveball ripped into left center field and down for a base hit. Bright to third. They'll try to score him. The throw goes to third, and the play there is in time to retire Zach Laurie for the 2nd out of the inning. But Bright scores. It's a 3-2 Glenville State lead on the RBI single by Ashton Crace on his first hit of the day. Good throw by Fenwick at center. Cut off by Coburn. And Laurie cut down 8-6-5, trying to get to third on that ball into the left center. So with 2 outs, it's just Crace at first base. Here's Grayson McNeil. He takes a belt-high fastball for a strike. But the important thing is the run did score. Bright scores. And Crace makes it a 3-2 ball game. The 0-1. Breaking ball, tapped foul. And now all of a sudden it's Charleston that has 6 outs with which to work. And Glenville State's got pitching decisions to make. Do they stick with Zach Dellerman, their ace who started Wednesday's game, or do they go to the bullpen and try to find 6 outs out of one or a few guys? The 0-2 to McNeil. Grounded past the pitcher. Backhand stop at second. Stansberry gloves it over to the bag in time to get the third out of the inning. But Glenville State scores a pair RBI singles from Zach Laurie. That one ties the game. And Ashton Craze follows with an RBI single to give Glenville State a 3-2 lead after 7.5 from Charleston. To the bottom of the 8th inning, and the lead now back in the hands of Glenville State. They were tied at 1 until the bottom of the 7th, when Charleston scored a run to take a 2-1 lead. And then Glenville State, with an RBI single from Zach Laurie to tie the game, and then Ashton Crace with an RBI single to give Glenville State the 3-2 lead. So some changes here for Glenville State. Out at second base, it's Austin Carter, because, again, Jetzel Cajigas Martinez was taken down for a pinch hitter. And the new pitcher is the second pitcher on this team, their weekend rotation. Pitching for the second time in this tournament is Grant Landis. In his first outing on Wednesday, Landis threw 2 2/3, scoreless ball. He allowed 2 hits. He walked 3, struck out 4 through 57 pitches. So he has a day of rest after a 57-pitch relief outing, and Landis is on. We'll see if he's in here to nail this down. The pitch, cold strike on the outer edge to Trent Dosenbach. Zach Dellerman delivered an inning and 2/3 out of the Glenville State bullpen. The 0-1. Grounded softly to the right side. Colby Guy up with it. Steps on the bag, 1 down. Dellerman allowed a run on 1 hit. He walked 1 and struck out 1. Again, pitching on 1 day's rest after starting on Wednesday. Landis also pitching on a day of rest through 57 pitches. So a little less used than Dellerman. But a win here for Glenville State puts them at 2-0 in this tournament. And though they've gone through some pitching in a pretty good spot. Here's Derek Seiss. Breaking ball, outer edge, a cold strike from Grant Landis. Breaking ball again in there for strike 2 on Seiss. 16th outing of the year for Landis. This is just his 3rd relief appearance. That's something he only did once in the regular year. 3.36 ERA. He's 4-1 on the season. The 0-2, swing and a miss. Gets away from Swigert. The throw to first in time. 2 outs. And for what it's worth, the Glenville State runs in the 8th inning belong to Zach Dellerman. He's the pitcher record at this point. If Landis finishes this out, Landis would be eligible for what would be his first save of the season. He's got 2 outs here in the 8th inning. He's thrown 62 innings. That's second most behind Dellerman. Allowed 23 earned runs, struck out 47, and walked 26. Abe Fenwick takes a ball outside. So all of a sudden getting late early here for Charleston. They're not really early. We're in the bottom of the 8th. The pitch upstairs, 2-0. It's getting late quickly. That's a better way to say that. The urgency has come here for Charleston after Glenville State scored 2 in the 8th to flip this game. That's a cold strike on a breaking ball. Abe Fenwick, 2-1 count. Grant Landis fires. It's off the end of Fenwick's bat into left center field, drifting on. Meadows makes the catch. And this game will go to the 9th inning with Glenville State holding a 3-2 lead on the University of Charleston in what's been a great start to a long day from Go-Mart Ballpark. We're back after this with the 9th on MEC TV.
What's possible when you have the freedom to explore things that inspire you? To be a part of a community that supports and challenges you. Where can you go to find the space and time to reach your goals? Who can you become when you're able to make connections in a place where you belong? Find out what's possible at Frostburg State University.
It's about unlocking your potential and discovering your purpose.
It's about community and how we can better serve others.
It's about learning and doing.
It's about the journey and the road getting there.
It's about opportunities and the endless possibilities.
It's about finding where you belong, and it is here at Concord University.
It's about you, and it starts with you.
On to the 9th, and a big job here for Charleston's Kai Close. He's got to get this game to the bottom of the 9th inning with just a 1-run deficit. Check that, it's not Kai Close. I thought that was a 5 on the back of his uniform top, but it's a 2-4, so Close leaves. And the big job's in the hands of Jaden Peterson, who's on for the first time this tournament and the 11th time this season. Peterson, a 3.09 ERA, 35 innings of work, 36 strikeouts to 20 walks. He's allowed 20 hits this season and just 12 earned runs. Close in 2/3 of an inning. Gave up 1 hit. Didn't walk anybody, didn't strike anyone out. The runs charged to the starting pitcher, Brevin Deckrosh. So as well as Deckrosh threw today in 108 pitches, keeping Charleston in this game, the guys that reached with him on the mound. He's the pitcher of record. Deckrosh in line to get the loss, and right now, Zach Dellerman would be in line to get the win. And if he finishes this game, save would go to Grant Landis. But that's putting the cart way ahead of the horse. Colby Guy leads off. So Jaden Peterson. The left-hander against Colby Guy. Doubled in the second inning. Just 5 hits today for Glenville State. First pitch outside for a ball. Pair of extra base hits. One of those for Guy. Here's the 1-0. Peterson misses down and in. Jaden Peterson facing Colby Guy to lead off this inning. The 2-0 downstairs. Peterson, a freshman out of Hagerstown, Maryland's Grace Academy High School, facing the 6, 7, 8 hitters in this Glenville State order. Relief of Brevin Deckrosh and Kai Close. The 3-0. Does Guy get the green light? We'll find out. Breaking ball taking all the way. work in the Glenville State bullpen. Zach. Somebody else getting loose. The 3-1 upstairs. A 5-pitch walk. Guy on to start the inning. We go back to the bottom, or back to the top of the 8th inning. Charleston had their first lead since the middle of yesterday's game against Frostburg State at 2-1. When Zach Laurie's single tied the game and Ashton Crace's single gave the Pioneers a 3-2 advantage. Here's Luke Swigert. Shows bunt, pulls back, and takes a ball.
That would complete the cycle, wouldn't it? No, hop out. No, strikeout doesn't put the ball in play. Put into play outside. Yeah.
Swigert trying to bring insurance. Bunts this one back to the mound. The plays at first. Peterson fields and fires. They move the runner Guy to second base. One down. So here's Carlos De Jesus. Glenville State has a couple opportunities to try to take the lead here. Guy at second base. Insurance. This one on the first pitch to Jesus, lines it into right center field. It's down for a hit. Guy around third. Here's the throw. And ahead of the tag, Guy dives in safely. A barrel roll to give the Glenville State Pioneers a 4-2 advantage. Curveball outside, and DeJesus flipped it into right center field. That throw from Seiss, a lot closer. A head-first dive ended in a tumble. Austin Carter bats for the first time today. The new second baseman with a runner at first base. Takes a strike call. First at bat of the tournament for Austin Carter, a .232 hitter. Has 3 doubles and a pair of home runs, 9 runs batted in. The 1-strike pitch downstairs. DeJesus has not attempted a steal this season. He's at first base, and with 1 out, sure they'd like to try to get him to second base. We'll see if he tries to make a move here. Not running. The 1-1 is outside. Looks to be the right-hander Owen Norris getting loose. And the Glenville State bullpen. Here's the 2-1. Called strike on the outside corner. Now check that. That's Ashton Crace. I thought it was 46, but it looks to be Crace. Austin Carter awaits the 2-2. Jaden Peterson deals, and a swing and a miss. Carter the second out of the inning. In case you're wondering, Glenville State, or Charleston rather, will have the 6, 7, and 8 hitters due up in the 9th inning. That's Ryan Camella, Ashton Cochran, and Max Lane. Back to the top of the order, and Jacob Meadows, who's hitless today. Fastball sizzled in for a strike. Colby Guy walked, was bunted to second base, and Carlos DeJesus laced a single into right center to score Guy. Breaking ball, popped away by Meadows. Glenville State's dropped 3 of their last 5, but they won Wednesday in the tournament opener against Wheeling 14-7. This would be their 29th win of the season if they can finish this off. They lead at 4-2 with 3 outs to go. The 0-2 breaking ball swung on and missed. Meadows down on strikes to end the inning. But the biggest 3 outs of Glenville State's season looming ahead. They've taken a 4-2 lead in this one as we go to the bottom of the 9th from Gomart Ballpark in Charleston on the Mountain East Conference Digital Network.
Tomorrow's innovators, teachers, caregivers, researchers, leaders, and creators all have one thing in common. They started out just like you. At West Liberty University, you are the focus. This is a place where you will gain the skills, knowledge, and confidence to change your life and the world around you. It all starts here, with you. Visit westliberty.edu to start your journey. It's all here at West Liberty University.
Glenville State University offers cutting-edge programs, small class sizes, and dedicated faculty providing students with a personalized experience focused on their success. With the lowest tuition in the Mountain State, every student has the opportunity to achieve their goals. At Glenville State University, you'll find a community that supports, challenges, and inspires you every step of the way. From hands-on learning in state-of-the-art facilities to internships that connect you with real-world opportunities, we prepare you for the challenges and triumphs of tomorrow. Pioneer your future at Glenville State University.
Here we go. Grant Landis trying to close this one out here from Gomart Ballpark in Charleston. It's a 4-2 Glenville State lead. They got a run in the first inning on an RBI single from Zach Laurie. Charleston tied it in the 4th on a double from Derek Seiss. We stay that way until the bottom of the 7th when Charleston took their only lead of the day on Andrew Coburn's RBI single. But Glenville State struck right back in the 8th. They got an RBI single to tie it from Zach Laurie, and Ashton Crace's RBI single in the 8th gave Glenville State the lead. They added to it on a Carlos De Jesus RBI base knock in the top of the 9th. Ryan Comella takes a ball from Grant Landis to start this off. Comella looking for his first hit of the game. It initially ruled his 5th inning at bat a single. Now ruled an error on the catcher. Here's the 1-0. Ground to the left side. It sneaks through for a base hit. Comella, a leadoff single here in the 9th inning. Sixth time in 9 innings today that Charleston has managed to get the leadoff man aboard. That one is an irrefutably clean single. And now Camella's been taken down for a pinch runner. They get the catcher off the base paths. Landon Nida out of Cabell Midland High School. The fresh legs out there at first base. Here's Ashton Cochran. It's a ball down and in. So Nida at first base running for Comella. A freshman from a very good Cabell Midland program. For Glenville State, his run not as important as the one at the plate right now. Runner goes, the 1-0. Hit the other way into left field. That's a base hit. Nida around second into third base. And now Charleston cooking with 2 on and nobody out here in the bottom of the 9th inning.
He totally went to steal that right for.
Perfectly executed hit and run. Nida steals or is off on the pitch. And it pulls Adam Bright, the shortstop, to cover the bag. And you see that hit right behind Bright where he was. Textbook baseball out of the University of Charleston Golden Eagles. And now Max Lane bats with nobody out and 2 on in the 9th inning. And Charleston will chase Grant Landis. 3 up, 3 down from Landis in the 8th inning, but the first 2 against him reach with hits in the 9th. I'll tell you about the new Charleston or the new Glenville State pitcher in just a moment. Glenville State trying to find 3 outs in this one. They've been difficult to get. 4-2 Glenville State in the bottom of the ninth. We're back after this on MAC TV. For Glenville State here in the ninth inning, these changes. Hunter Thomas in right field for the Pioneers. Ashton Crace has come on from right to pitch. And they've also had a pinch runner for Charleston. I'll get you that information in just a second, as Charleston is using Garrett Broadwater to run at first for Ashton Cochran. So a lot of cards being played by both head coaches in the ninth inning of this one. First, let's get you the numbers on Ashton Crace as a pitcher. This is just his 10th outing of the season on the mound. He started twice, an ERA of 3, 18 innings of work, 17 hits allowed. He's given up 6 earned runs, 18 strikeouts, and 10 walks for Ashton Crace. So he comes on to pitch. Hunter Thomas is the right fielder. Landon Nida came on to pinch run after Ryan Camello's hit. He's a third. And after Ashton Cochran's single through the left side, he's been taken down for a pinch runner. That's Garrett Broadwater. So Broadwater at first, Nida at third. The winning run at home plate is Max Lane. The pitch, cold, strike one. Charleston must win this game to continue in this tournament. Glenville State's 1-0. They can survive a loss, but they'll have to play again at 7 tonight. Toss to first brings the runner back, and I'm sure the Concord Mountain Lions at this point are pretty big Charleston Golden Eagles fans, because if Charleston wins and sends Glenville State to the losers bracket, Concord doesn't have to play until 1 o'clock tomorrow. Foul tip from Lane, 0-2. If Glenville State wins, then the 7 o'clock game will be Concord, and whoever loses the 3:30 game between Frostburg State and Point Park. But if it's Charleston, then it's Glenville State against that 3:30 loser, and Concord waits till 1 o'clock tomorrow and rests their pitching. 2-strike pitch misses outside from Ashton Crace. More action in the Glenville State bullpen as Anthony Ruiz continues to get loose. Double barrel action as second righty has joined Ruiz. 2 on, nobody out. Lane takes ball 2 low and outside. John Stansberry on deck for Charleston. The Golden Eagles have led this game just once at 2-1. We were tied for a long time. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Foul ball, first base side, finding the sun. Colby Guy squeezes it. 1 away. In addition to Ruiz, Luca Moore, the other pitcher, getting loose. Here's John Stansberry. Glenville State would love to roll 2 and get out of this one at 2-0. Fastball, a strike. Charleston at 21-29. They've lost 6 of 9, 3 in a row. But a rally here would change their fortunes and send them to tomorrow. Here's the 0-1 upstairs. Thunder sticks rattling here among the UC fan base. Glenville State's fan base might find their fingernails at their feet, chewing them off in this one. Here's the 1-1. Crace, a curveball in there for strike two. Top of the order, and Andrew Coburn on deck. And Coburn in the 7th delivered the single that gave Charleston their only lead of this game. Runner goes, the 1-2, swing and a miss for strike three. Broadwater swipes second without a throw, 2 down in the 9th inning. And now the last hope for the University of Charleston is Andrew Coburn. Wheeling eliminated last night, so this tournament field already down to just 5 teams. And the Golden Eagles next on the chopping block unless Coburn can come through here. Tying run at second base with 2 outs. The pitch down and in. In addition to the go-ahead single in the 7th, Coburn singled and scored in the 4th. Ashton Crace trying to get the save, the 1-0. High, 2 balls and no strikes. A throw bounced back and a good scoop by Crace to prevent the runners from going anywhere. Zach Dellerman, the pitcher of record for Glenville State. Brevin Dekrosh, the starter for Charleston, is the pitcher of record unless Charleston can take him off the hook. The 2-0 popped out of play. First base is open. Maybe a more appealing option depending on the outcome of Ashton Crace's 2-1 pitch. Second baseman Austin Carter playing way back against this lefty Coburn. The 2-1 upstairs. Coburn doesn't bite. Colin Kemp is on deck. So with 2 outs and first base open, the worst outcome isn't ball 4 here if you're Glenville State. Although it would be the winning run on base. Here's the 3-1. Down and in, ball 4. A 5-pitch walk loads the bases for Colin Kemp. Coburn on first base. Broadwater at second. Nida at third. Colin Kemp was hit by a pitch in the 6th. Sack bunt in the 4th. 0 for 2 otherwise. One swing of the bat can end this game one way or the other. Tying run at second base. The winning run at first. Kemp ready, the pitch, swung on, lifted into right center field. That's going to sit down for a base hit. Nida scores, Broadwater around, we're tied. They'll hold the winning run, but the ball gets away, and here comes the last guy in to score. A head-first dive from Coburn, and Charleston stays alive with a 5-4 win in the bottom of the 9th inning over Glenville State. Disaster on the relay throw for Glenville State. And they all mob Colin Kemp in left field. He laced a double into right center field. The relay throw. I'm not sure if Austin Carter just got a terrible grip on that ball or what, but when it went toward the dugout, Andrew Coburn at third broke for the plate and scored. And Charleston steals this one from Glenville State with 3 in the bottom of the 9th inning. And the Golden Eagles advance to tomorrow with a 5-4 win over Glenville State. What a ball game. Kemp with a double. and 2 RBIs. Nida scored. Broadwater behind him to tie it. And then again, when the relay throw got away from Austin Carter, it looked like it slipped out of his hands and went toward the dugout. That brought Coburn home. So it scored a double, 2 RBIs, and an E4. The throwing error brings Coburn plateward bound and sends Charleston on to tomorrow. Sends Glenville State to 7 o'clock tonight. And it sends Concord to a day of rest, and a much-needed day of rest for a Concord team that used their ace, Caden Varela-Payne, for 139 pitches last night. What a way to end this one from Gomart Ballpark in Charleston. We had a great pitcher's duel throughout, and then it erupted. 6 of the 9 runs in this game were scored in the last 2 innings. Your final score, Charleston 5, Glenville State 4. Colin Kemp's 2-run double tied it, and the E4 trying to get the ball back to the infield scores Andrew Coburn. So again, your final score, Charleston 5, Glenville State 4. We'll let you process that one. 3:30, we'll have Point Park and Frostburg State. And again, with their win in this game, Charleston stays alive and they'll play tomorrow. Glenville State will drop to the losers bracket and they'll play at 7 o'clock against whoever loses between Point Park and Frostburg State. In the 9th, Comella singled. Ashton Cochran singled. They were taken down by pinch runners. And with 2 outs, Andrew Coburn's walk kept the inning alive and loaded the bases for Colin Kemp, who doubled home 2, and the error brought home Andrew Coburn. And Charleston rallies to win this one with 3 in the 9th. Your final score, Charleston 5, Glenville State 4. Our producer and director today, this talented video productions crew, Brian Shepard. Want to thank all of our camera crew and those here in the booth. Butch Mounts, the executive producer of video productions. My name is Eric Little. Back at 3:30 with Frostburg State and Point Park. And again, your final score, Charleston 5, Glenville State 3. Thank you for watching this thriller on the Mountain East Conference Digital Network.